debate the question on based on the doubt, to be or not to be, whatever this is basically seems to be, or is not to be, or is basically going to be. Basically, put it in terms based on this anime, based on this episode, based on episode 5. So there's no freaking way out. No, there's no freaking way unless. And basically with this episode, based with episode 5, I definitely would personally want to say, I want to talk about this episode. What I personally want to say here is this: I think that this episode really defines basically of the situation, basically, like, how Sasuke is, but yeah, and basically, Rinko also too. Personally, to be honest with you, I have to say I happen to like Sasuke really a lot. Basically in this anime, I think that she's cute, she's very beautiful, she's very attractive, and she really actually is. I think she's personally one of my favorites right now, personally in this anime, and I think that she really actually is. I definitely do like Rinko really a lot. She seems like she's the better type of girl that basically every person that really definitely do want. That's basically seems to me. But when you compare it to basically to put into the difference between Mai and also Sasuke, it really begs the difference, like who is pretty much one of the best opportunity for you to basically choose. It's basically a free will if you really want to choose, if you choose her, or basically if you choose the other one, either that you choose Mai or choose Sasuke. The question I have for you guys is that would you guys choose? If you guys was Rinko, based on Rinko's shoes, who would you do? But one thing I really do like about Rinko really a lot, and this is just my opinion, this is what I definitely think. I think Rinko does not want to rush the whole situation, basically being into a relationship. It means that she wants to take her time. It means that she doesn't want to date or anything like that. It means that she doesn't want to be forced and stuff like that. But she's not really actually 100% sure because she doesn't know about her feelings, about how she personally feels basically when it comes to basically, let's say, like, maybe that she's in love with a girl, or maybe that she's really is not in love with a girl, or maybe that she really actually is. But you have to beg the question of the doubt: is she really actually is basically being committed to saying, like, yeah, maybe that she is in love with a girl, or maybe that she really is really is not. I mean, it really is not. But you have to really understand here is that I like the way her smart thinking really actually is, because she really doesn't jump the gun really that much. It's just like, bam, just like that. I'm just gonna jump ahead and just say, like, it's kind of like you're staring at a piece of candy, like a candy bar. Let's take as for instance like Reese's Cup or Snickers or something like that. If you really definitely want it, you have to think about it. If you really definitely want it, but you also have to think in the mind also as well too. Could you lead yourself into temptation? If you lead yourself into the temptation to get that candy bar and to buy it and to buy it with money that you really want it really depends on, like, if you really want to buy it or not. But you have to really understand. Here is that jumping in to grab something is something. It can be a good thing, but it comes with regret also as well too. It's kind of like a penalty. It's kind of like a penalty. Like, let's say as for a game, let's say like any other different game that you play. Let's say you how should I put this? Okay, let's just say this. Okay, let's say that you were queuing for a dungeon, and then you have to abandon it because everything was not going the way that you really definitely want. What that means is basically that means you leave the dungeon. That means somebody else will take the person's place is basically in the dungeon. That means the whole group will basically just fall apart. Now, different other games, they do have their own different styles, but that how they do dungeons or how they do raids and stuff like that. That means they have someone else to take their place to really basically do that. But if basically is not just really basically the case, if they feel like that there's something that's just not right with the group or basically with others, then yes, that means that person would definitely leave. Basically, in my case is that it's not just basically because I want to work together with the person or basically with the group. I just want to make sure that we are just focusing on one thing. Means like taking out the bad guy, taking out the big baddie base of them all. That's basically what we're doing. But if you really want to have a relationship with somebody, you can't go rushing in. You can't go rushing in. It's not a race. It's not the Daytona 500. It's not really based on anything or anything like that. It's not. Some people may think that it is. So it's a race to really do that. Yes, the person may seem like you have your eyes on a guy, like, oh my god, he's so cute, and then you see like a girl, it's like, oh my god, she's so hot. I mean, you have to take your time basically with that. Some guys are very eager with girls. Some girls are eager with guys. Sometimes girls are not. Sometimes guys are not. Sometimes they just want to get to know the person, to take their time and not to push the issue. But if they really were to basically push the issue, then that would lead to a huge, basically big concern. What that means is it means that not only because they end up hurting themselves, they will also end up hurting the person also as well too. I said this basically, I can't remember which one of my reviews, and I want to say this again. I want people to really think about this. I end up hurting myself. Not only because I end up hurting myself, I also end up hurting my ex. To be honest with you, we both didn't get along and stuff like that. I am seeing a psychiatrist. I have told you guys about that. I do see her every 3 months and stuff like that. I do get medications for it, anxiety medications and depression and stuff like that. I do and stuff like that. I've been taking that stuff for a long time before I started YouTube and stuff like that and stuff. And personally, I want to say here is that I can't change her. She can only change herself. You know, she can't change me. I can't change her. It's kind of like saying, like, you know, can a zebra change a stripe? No, it's impossible for a zebra to change a stripe. A zebra cannot change the stripes at all. If you see a zebra change a stripe, you probably go like, what did I just saw? What did just happen right here? Did I just see what just happened right there? No, that's impossible, because it would not make no sense. Because it would not. I would find it very bizarre if I see a zebra out there in the wild that changes stripes. That goes beyond of economics. It's based on the circle of life really actually is. That means there's just basic other different things that you would never would expect. That's kind of like a cheetah. A cheetah doesn't change the spots. It never does. Does it do that? No. It really does not. It really does not. I guess it's for a tiger. Does a tiger change the stripes? No, it does not. It really does not change the stripes. It really does not. So I want people to really understand here, basically stuff like that. I made my mistakes and stuff like that, and I'm accountable for my mistakes. I'm willing to admit that because I'm a man. I'm 44 years old. I'm a nerd. I love anime. I love games. I love manga. I love everything basically in general, sports, whatever it is basically stuff like that. And to be honest with you, the reason why I'm admitting that because I want to. Because I don't want to hide from it. I don't want to wear a mask over my face and say like I don't want to say anything at all. So that's just what I want to do. But I want to unhold that mask, and I just want to say, like, you know, I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to. That's not the kind of person I really am. I want to be straightforward. Want to be honest. I don't want to straight up lie to people because of different aspects and stuff like that. When I do things and stuff like that, based on my own time and stuff like that. And basically stuff like that. I think Rinkun, basically as a character, based for herself, I think personally for her that I think that I don't think that she's hiding a mask. I don't think that she really actually is. Maybe I may be wrong. I maybe think that she probably is. Maybe that she probably is hiding something, or maybe that she doesn't really feel confronted with her feelings. Maybe that she doesn't feel really sexually immoral with her feelings towards another person, or maybe that she doesn't really want to, or maybe that she feels conflicted into basically like kind of like a forceful based kind of a situation and stuff like that. the question is who is she really actually going to end up with? Could she end up being with Mai, or she could end up being with Saxy, or she could end up being with some of the other girls as well too. But you have to remember, there's options. There's options on the table. It's kind of like you're sitting at a table and you want to sign a contract to go to an NFL team or to a college or something like that. And whatever day you want to go to, whatever day you want to go to, they'll say like these are your options. Say like, hey, we can draft you into to the Cowboys, or draft you into the Jets or the Broncos, or whatever it is, or whatever it is, and stuff like that. And they take the opportunity and basically stuff like that. But it usually is basically up to the manager of the person that really helps you out to decide to make those decisions for you. But to be honest with you, if I was basically in that position, I would want to make decisions for myself. That's what I basically really definitely want to. Every person does have an option to choose whatever they really want to choose. Remember what I talked about in one of my reviews, one of the animes I was watching, free will. Everyone has a free will. That's what everyone does has. God gave mankind free will. And I want to say this, I don't mean to preach, but I just want to bring a summary of this. It's not God's fault because what happened to Adam and Eve. It's not. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely think. Adam and Eve, they made their choice. They did that. They did that to themselves. Not only because they did that to themselves, they made that choice on their own. God didn't tell them. God didn't say, they enforced them and say like, no, don't do this, don't do anything like that. Yes, he did warn them. He did. But the reason why he did that, because he told them not to. But did God see that what was going to happen? Yes, he did see that it was going to happen, but it was not by surprise. Hold on a second, guys. I think there's someone right around my door. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I do apologize. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. This is just a neighbor walking past my door. I have no idea who she is or anything like that. But I just want people to really just basically really understand that. I think people do have the option to base off free will. People do have the option to base off that. And I think Rinko needs to really decide what she really wants to do. She cannot keep fiddling the game and stuff like that, and just playing around situation. But I like her style, basically the way, the emotions that she has and stuff like that. She is very patient. She's not very impatient. She's exploring her options. That's what she's basically really actually just doing. And that's what she's basically just really actually just doing. It's kind of like you're going for a job. Like what job do you really want to take, or what contract you really want to sign for a team, or whatever it is that basically really actually is. That's your choice. Nobody else can tell you if that's really your choice. But you can always hear from our different sides of the different sides. You can hear from your friends. Your friends can give you advice. You can hear from your family that can give you advice. But when you all put that all together, that helps you make that choice. But I want also people to really understand here that I'm not the biggest fan of Mai. Yeah, she's beautiful, she's sexy and stuff like that. She is, and stuff like that. But I want people to really understand that I think this is very, very important for people to really understand here is that I really don't like Mai basically as a character really all that much. I'm willing to admit that. But I think that she's really basically a controlling basic kind of character. Because Rinko does not need to tell Mai what's going on. She does not. She does not own Rinku at all. She really does not. That's how I personally definitely feel. That's what I definitely think. Now, when it comes to Sasuke, to be honest with you, I think that she's the best route for me. I think that she is. The reason why I like her because I think that she's a very easygoing kind of girl. She doesn't seem like she really wants to be in control or controlling basic kind of character. Call me naive and stuff like that, but I really that's what I definitely think so. But you beg to differ. What do you really see, and what do you basically can know, and basically see from the situation and stuff like that. But like I said before, if you was in that situation, Rinko's shoes, you have to decide what you really want to do. But like I said before, it's kind of like you're being scouted and say like, hey, we want shoes, sign up and stuff like that, or say like we want you and sign up and stuff like that. It's kind of like contracts, like you have maybe more, maybe one or more contracts is based on the table right there, and say like they really want you because you know why they want you, because they want you to help them to win a championship or win the Super Bowl or maybe win the Daytona 500 or NHL or whatever it is and stuff like that. So I want people to basically really to understand here is basically that in my case, I would get advice from my friends, get advice from God, and get advice from my family also as well too, because I want them to help me to understand what I think would be best for me, not what they don't. I don't want to rely on them. I want to rely what they give to me. That's what I really definitely want. So yeah, anyways, I think that makes perfect good sense to me. I definitely do think so. That's what I definitely do think. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely do believe. And I really definitely do see that Rinku is being patient. She's not rushing into things. If she was my daughter or something like that, I don't mean to be weird or anything like that, but I will, in the person want to say her, I would definitely tell her, you need to decide what you really want to do. Do not rush into things. Do not go and make foolish decisions that you shouldn't do, because that is not a good situation. Because sometimes most girls do rush into going to having sex, just like that, and guess what? They have a bunch of babies and stuff like that. That's not a good situation. It's a really bad situation. Now they have to regret that situation, and they probably will say, "Well, I regretted doing that." Yeah, they regretted probably doing that, but they end up doing it. And whose fault is that? Not my fault. That's their fault. That's that girl's fault, or maybe the guy probably just say like, "I should never done that. I should never done that." But beg to differ. That's what I personally definitely say. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this review. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Disagree with me? What do you guys want to tell us about Rinku basically as a character? What do you think she should do? Do you think that she should rush in or not rush in? I don't think she should. I think she should just be patient and just explore her options. That's what I definitely would do if I was based in her shoes. But yeah, anyways, it's not so I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. And please leave a comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember to, I love you guys. Please safe. And remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.